Okay, looks like we're live. Now let's see what that looks like. Let's take a look-see and see what we're at. Okay, indeed we are live. There is a delay. And I need to kill this thing. Kill that. All right. Okay. Sorry for the delay here. And let's get rid of that. All right, so on this one here, I have my cell phone is actually, and let me do something else here. I need to kill the sound totally. There we go. All right, so I don't need the earphone at all. All right, so here's the deal. We're working on the COPPA thing. That's the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act from the FTC here in the United States. I do have my laptop computer set up. There's going to be a delay on this, so let me just snatch my phone here. So there we have the cell phone up. Now the quality of the video is not the best because I'm using a cell phone attached to the Wi-Fi. So the cell phone's attached to the Wi-Fi. It looks okay on my screen here, but my screen that I see is pretty much what you see out there. Okay, so let me get into this COPPA thing here. The problem with this, doing this stream this way, it's really this is an big experimental video for a couple of people. Okay, so somebody asked me about the COPPA. As a matter of fact, a lot of people have been asking about the COPPA thing. A lot of gripes, complaints, and comments about that. I see. I try to answer all those comments back. I think I have so far. I will, continuing to go in the forward motion and answer all those questions. Anybody has a question about the COPPA thing, I will answer it to the very best of my ability. So the other issue is setting up a live stream with the COPPA problem, the COPPA issue. I've been trying to do a live stream from my laptop computer. It has a camera built into it, and I wanted to use that to get the job done. But for some reason, like a cell phone, you just hit go live, it goes live. It's mindlessly simple. It's fantastic. It's what I call an orgasm in a can, which may not be age appropriate, but it's funny anyway. But it's fantastic. It just, you punch go live and you're live. You're bing, bang, you're on. It takes a little picture of you and off you go. But on the laptop, for some reason, I hit go live and the darn thing doesn't go live. It just like sits there and does this circle of death waiting to go live and it doesn't do it. But here's the issue. Now, also on here, and it worked out both. So I guess it's a good experiment this way because it worked out both ways. Let me do something here. The phone's on a tripod, so let me get my little handle here and get it, make sure it's out of the way. So I want to be able to move my camera if I want to without being in the way here. All right, there's a delay too because it's funny. I'm watching my cell phone, the front-facing camera on the cell phone. I'm watching that and it looks at, everything's fine, but then I see this big delay here on my screen. So anyways, let's get into the COPPA thing. You're setting up the COPPA on your what? Oh, that's hilarious. Hey, Jennifer, thanks for stopping by. And hey, how you doing? I'll say your name wrong, Arkansas. And it's funny too, because here's the funny thing. I see this. Oh, hold on. You know what? I can see your comments here too. Asankao. You know what? Send me a phonetic spelling of that. But hey, how you doing? But anyways, so let's see here. Somebody wanted to ask me, oh, sweet. Okay, so thanks, I appreciate that. I'm like, send me a phonetic spelling. But somebody had been asking me about the COPPA, how to get the COPPA settings when you're doing a live stream. And that creator was probably doing a live stream from their cell phone, right? So you're doing a live stream from your cell phone. A lot of people do that, and a lot of people around the world, actually, their main computer is a cell phone, so I get it. As a matter of fact, I can go on the internet, as I am now, with my cell phone, and it's not a phone anymore, it's my, what is that thing? the Axon 7, the ZTE Axon 7. They don't make that phone. I haven't made it in a while. But that's the one I used actually to make most of my videos. And also, for this case, a live stream, because I couldn't get the thing to work on my laptop, which is crazy. There's a StreamYard thing that they have out there. You can use StreamYard and go live and do a live stream from that. It works really great, and it worked really great, but I think there's some issues with that I'm not 100% with it. So, but it really had great things. It does, allows you to do like a live television broadcast with the lower third things on the screen. So they show up over here, the lower thirds and all that. Looks great. But, so you can get information to the audience. And if you pay for the service, you can have a whole lot more access to things you can do with it, which is really great. Now, the other thing I was trying to use was OBS software and get online with the OBS. And that was giving me a hard time too. I think it sort of kind of went to go online, but it didn't really work that great for me. So I defaulted back to the cell phone because that's another experiment I want to do. But in both cases, on the laptop computer and on the cell phone, I was able to answer the questions for the COPPA requirement. I know I'm not a kids channel. I don't do kids videos and stuff like that. So that's my answer is always no. And for my channel as a whole, and for the laptop computer, and I guess the desktop, if I had a camera mounted to that too, which is actually behind this screen. But anyways, if that had a camera on it, I imagine it would be pre-filled in too. So however I get into it, it would be absolutely pre-answered that no, I'm not a kids channel. And also for the live streams, yes, monetize the video. So it's like those are already pre-selected for my channel as a whole. And then when I go ahead and, oh, do me a favor, by the way, hit the thumbs up button while you're here. Appreciate it. Anyway, so pre-building in some likes on that. So anyways, so the other thing is that, so both the COPPA that I'm not a child's channel, go ahead and have all the requirements for the COPPA, that's COPPA, for the Federal Trade Commission in the United States. And it's worldwide now, apparently, that everybody's got to meet this thing. And the reason for that, by the way, is because YouTube got slapped. Now, the COPPA thing's been around for a while. It's years old or a decade old. It's not new, okay? It's not new. But the $140 million fine that the FTC slapped on YouTube, that is new, and that's what really hammered this thing coming down on us. Now, it's also, everybody's complaining and griping about it, and that's correct, you should. But the solution is kind of easy. If we know our channel, you're a creator, you're either making videos for kids or you're not, And if you're making video, and some people will make videos, some are for kids, some are not for kids, and that's fine too. If you're not making a video for kids, it's not a kids video, just saying, no, it's not for kids. Now, the thing is that if you're not a kids channel, you're not making videos just for kids, advertising will go on your channel if you're monetized. And also on top of that, they'll track. They track, the internet tracks people. So unless somebody's mobile device or their home computer says, no, don't track me for anything anywhere, and they have special settings done that way, then they won't be tracked, privacy and all that. Hey, how you doing? But if let's just pop right in there. Anyway, so on the tracking thing, that has to be something set up on somebody's computer. You can set your computer up for ultra privacy. You'll be restricted on what you can do on the internet and all that kind of things, which children should probably be under the age of 13, probably should be anyway. Now, if you, the problem is going to be, and this is where a lot of people have issues, hey, I'm going to get hit with a $42,000 fine per incident or per video, and that's not really true. And number one is the FTC is not going to waste their time going after every little individual creator out there because it's not worth their time and effort, and there's going to be a huge backlash, and the government really doesn't want to have to deal with that. And the government, people in general would try to be lazy if they could be. I'm about the laziest person I know. So I'll spend a lot of time trying to do things easier so I don't have to work so hard, right? So same with the government. They don't want to sit there and be involved with all these frivolous cases. They're going against people that either accidentally hit something wrong or, they're getting nailed for something they shouldn't be. So they'll go after the big creators. I mean, there's a couple of big creators out there. They're in the top, 10% or whatever, and 5%. And those people would be channels that, the FTC would want to go after. But the thing is that they are definitely kids channels. They're absolutely positively rock solid a kids channel. And the problem is they would say, no, we're not. Okay. If you are a kids channel and you say, no, you're not, people are going to be tracked on your videos unless they have special settings not to be tracked. And they are, if they're kids or whatever, they're going to be tracked. So that's a privacy issue with the COPPA Act, or the Child's Online Privacy Protection Act. That's what the problem is. So if you are a child's channel, then you need to say yes. But when you do say yes, then you're going to be restricted heavily on your channel. They're not going to be tracking. I think comments get shut off. I think, which is a big problem for me, creators helping creators. Not being able to comment on a video is a huge problem. As a matter of fact, Miss Kathy Reed's, her daughter Jessie owns a channel. She kind of gifted her channel to her daughter, but her daughter's like slammed with not being able to get comments on her videos because she's a child. You know, I think she's under 13. So because she's under 13, she can't have any comments on her channel. So how's a kid ever going to be able to grow their channel? You know, there's going to be a problem with that. And it's really going to kill networking unless you find another way to do it. And the other way I do it with Miss Kathy, looking at Jessie's channel, is if I go to watch some Jessie videos, I will make a note on Twitter to Miss Kathy. So there's ways around it and stuff like that. And the thing about privacy for kids and everything, I'm all for that and all that. But the problem is if there's problems with bad actors, they say. So the bad actors watching children's videos and being bad actors in general, they're going to find some other way to be a bad actor with the child's video. So there's really, I see, I'm half blind, so I can't see that. Good night, right? Oh, hey, good night. Thanks for stopping by. Anyway, so here's the deal. My channel is not made for kids. So if you're making a video, hey, Farm All Fanatic, man, thanks a lot for stopping by. Appreciate it. Hey, look at that, a little fox waving. That's adorable. I didn't even know that was there. Anyway, so here's the deal. So if you have if you're making videos specifically for kids and you are a kids channel and that's what you want to do and that's where you want to be, then you're going to have to hit that yeah, you are a kids channel thing. If you're a channel that's not making videos specifically for children, you're not trying to make kids videos and everything else, then you should be fine. Go ahead and say that, no, you're not a kids channel. That's my advice as a creator. Can't give legal advice. I haven't passed a bar exam anywhere. And then even if I did, I couldn't give advice to everybody everywhere. I could only do it in California. So, but as a creator, I can say, look, I don't make children's videos. And as a creator not making children's videos, for the whole channel as a whole, my previous videos show people how to do the COPPA setting on your channel. It's for the entire channel. So it pre-selects all those things for us so that we don't have to do it every single time. And then if you're a half and half, you make some videos for kids, but most of them are not, then on each individual video that is for a kid, if you did my process and you said, hey, I'm not a kid's channel, then go ahead and make it an adult channel. Then only for that one video that is a kid's video, that's the only one you have to make that change for. But for the rest of the time, as a channel setting, that's the way my examples, using a cell phone to set it up. You have to get rid of the mobile thing. If you're using a mobile device and that's what you use most of the time for live streams and things, then you have to do my settings. I made a mobile device video that shows you how to not use the mobile internet, but to force an Android device to go into using Chrome to use the real internet, like you're on a laptop computer or a desktop computer. Then you can go and do these changes, because I don't know how to do it on a mobile device any other way. So that's what I made that video about. So that was a COPPA thing, and those settings are available on the cell phone. If you're doing a live stream on a cell phone, just set them up. Now I'm gonna have to make an after video on this to see if YouTube changes it. You know, if they make a change of something somehow, then I'm gonna have to look at that and see, okay, after the stream went live on my channel, did any of the settings change? And I'll have to go ahead and go through and change those. The other thing is on the monetization thing. So I set up COPPA as an adults channel, and I set up the monetization to be monetized. So after the fact, I'll pin a note to the bottom of the for the comments below. I'll pin a comment of what happened, if anything, below. You know, so even if nothing happened, I'll make that. I'll pin a comment for myself below the video after the fact and discuss what happened, if anything changed or not. The other thing I wanted to talk about was the experimental video thing using a live thing. I have a problem, and I'd love to see videos from other people. If you're successfully able to do a live stream from your laptop, somebody can make a video on how to do that, because for some reason, somehow, some way, even though my laptop has a camera on it and I got YouTube on there and I sit there and say, hey, go live, it's not going live. I don't know why. It's like I get the circle of death on there and it just doesn't work. And then, but I use a cell phone and just press go live and it goes live. You know, that's what I expect for the laptop, and it's just not happening. And that's disturbing, to say the least. That is not a requirement. You can, Jennifer, that's an excellent question. Let's look at that. Jennifer says, I see a lot of people putting disclaimers on the videos that they are not for kids, and that's not a requirement. Okay, so that's not a requirement to do that. However, some people are concerned. I would have to say, like, I've seen a couple of videos. There's some that have video gameplay on it. I say, so it's a gaming channel generally. Some of those young kids might be in, it depends on the game. I don't know. It depends on their parents, what kind of games they let them play and things like that. So I'm not sure. But if they, as a creator, think that children are watching their videos, right? And they may not be the cleanest of a good actor or a bad actor or whatever. They're not, you know, they're kind of like in the middle there, kind of gray area, like my shirt. But they say, hey, kids might be watching my videos, but I'm going to leave it as an adult thing because I want more advertising to come in, right? So they can make that income that way. That's fine. That's a good idea, I suppose. But the problem is going to be if YouTube and the FTC determine that is a kid's video. I mean, if you're, I don't even know what the kids' games would be. I have no idea. But if there's video games that are really targeted towards children, and the mass number of people using those video games are children, then I think that creator might have an issue. They might have a problem down the road. First with YouTube, I don't think they'll ever get to the level of having a problem with the FTC or on the COPPA requirements. I think they're going to get nailed by YouTube, and they might just be removed, and that might be what happens on that. So, but for most of us, I think that, you know, it really goes with, like, Jennifer is a really a kind of a channel that, you know, are you going to have kids watching cats and kittens? Not as much as me, and I'm an adult. I'm an old adult, you know. So, you know, it's kind of that's where the problem is. It's like borderline. There are people who are doll collectors. They're adults and they collect dolls. And the dolls that they collect are very expensive. They're not inexpensive dolls. So I would never expect a child to be sitting there getting involved in this doll collecting kind of thing. But if you look at the thumbnails, it's a doll. So if a kid looks at that video thumbnail and they see this doll, they might be thinking, oh, here's a nice child's video about a doll. But it's an adult hobby. You know, people collect, you know, if you look back there behind me, there's a lightsaber back there leaning against the wall. I used to sell the things on YouTube, on eBay. I used to sell those things on eBay, but they, let me read that comment there. Yes, that's a good point. And that's the problem is, watch me slam your name. I just got your name right. Let me ruin this now, right? Asan Ka, 5 cats and a dog, says, you know, I'm not sure why we have to go through this when the parents look after their kids. But don't you think the kids still can watch videos that they're not supposed to watch? Absolutely. Yes, there are. It's absolutely. And that's the thing with me. On my videos, it's like, and here's the thing, you know, legally, morally, and ethically kind of thing. I can't give legal advice, but I can talk about this generally, is that children don't normally get in trouble for stuff. They can't be held liable for stuff generally, probably, if they're under 7 years old. Okay? So from 7 to about 14, depending on the state you're in, jurisdiction, whatever, from about 7 to 14 years of age, a child can be, then they kind of look at the child, there's what they call a rebuttable argument that, yeah, no, the kid can be held liable for what they did, you know? So, you know, there's an issue there. Now, in YouTube, it's 13 and below. So I imagine below the age of 14. So 13 and below is what they're looking at for kids and protecting the kids. And shouldn't the parents be doing their jobs? Yes, they should, okay? But Madison Avenue, that's the advertising thing in New York City, the street where all the advertising is, the marketing folks that do so well, did really well over the decades and said, you know, hey, look, we should all want everything all the time and have it all the time so that both parents are out there working because, hey, we can have revolving credit and everything else and we can both be working and all this. Well, who's home taking care of the kids? Or who's taking care of the kids? Or are we subbing that out to somebody else? I'm not going to make any moral judgments or anything like that, but I'm just saying it's a fact of reality. When I was a child, there were 5 of us. I was the youngest of 5. My oldest sister did a lot of babysitting of the younger children, you know, because she was 5 years older than me. So if I'm 5, she's 10. Well, 10 years old back in the day, that's good enough. You can babysit the whole, you know, neighborhood, right? So, you know, where's mom? Where's our adult influence? Well, we didn't have the internet and stuff like that. So, times have changed. We've come a long way, and there's problems. There's issues out there in society, and it's hard for a parent to be a parent 24/7. So, and kids are going to be sneaky, and kids do what kids do. I mean, from very young age. Did anybody ever try as a kid? Did any of us ever try to do anything sneaky that we knew we shouldn't ought to be doing? And we knew better than doing it, and we did it anyway. Okay, yeah, sure, right? So same thing now, but the problems are just magnified so much by technology. So that's when the government decides they're going to step in and help parents be parents by punishing other people who can't be kind of like, I guess it takes a community to raise a child kind of thing. It takes a village to raise a child. Well, we're all part of that global village, I guess. And so we all have to be on the lookout to make sure that if we have things that are possibly influencing children, we must take a heightened awareness of what we're doing. And we, as the creators of these kind of channels, need to make sure that we're protecting the children, even if their parents aren't. As we have to step up that level of responsibility, and that's difficult. There's actually a lot of child's videos. I mean, that there's children in the video. I mean, I see something. My great nephew, when he was 2 years old, whatever, living with us for a while, we watched a lot of Busy Beaver TV, absolutely positively kids TV, ABC 1, 2, 3, educational and all that, and certainly getting a job done to educate the young lad. Get information into his head, colors, shapes, numbers, letters, and all this kind of stuff, and helping to educate this young boy at a very early age. And he really picked up on stuff very quickly. It amazed us quite often with how fast he picked things up. So that was great. And there was some advertising in the middle of the thing. There's advertising that my wife and I thought, misdemeanor and I thought was highly inappropriate for a child to be watching. We just kind of shrugged it off, skipped the ad if it had that option, or refresh the page or whatever it is to get rid of it. If something was inappropriate, it's like, this is an adult's commercial. It's specifically aimed at adults. Looking at some medication for heart therapy is not something that I would expect a 2-year-old to understand, right? So yeah, we have to pick up the effort and get ourselves involved in that sort of kind of thing. And yeah, I've seen a lot of comments out there where people say, hey, we have to be the parents for the parents that can't be parents for their own children. And sort of, kind of. That's pretty much actually a great description of what's happened out there with the COPPA thing, So, but I suggest that I want to talk about Jennifer Morales' videos because she has a lot of cats. I got a lot. Well, she didn't have a lot of cats. We got 17. My wife and I have 17 cats. So we had 19. We lost 2 in the last year, so that's pretty sad. But we had a lot of cats in our house, and it's a lot of work. I don't make cat videos. I don't make, you don't see any cat. You might see a cat every now and then on my channel, but or maybe a cat walking by in the background or something. But we don't make cat videos. I don't make cat videos, and cats are adorable. So some kids, little boys, little girls over there looking at cats in the videos. It's not a cat. It's not a children's. To me, Jennifer can let me know if I'm right or wrong on this, but I don't consider Jennifer Morales Feline Films to be a children's video channel. It's not. It's an adult channel. I mean, she's got humor in there. She's got comments that pop up on the screen, things they're funny, they're entertaining, they're actually frankly calming. It's a nice break for me in study, but I actually get to see, cats behaving, which I may not get to see very much. So I don't consider her channel to be a children's video channel, but children are probably going to see those videos. My videos are, getting back to the thing about kids and 13 years old and stuff like that. The other thing we can do is limit our videos, okay? If we limit our videos to the 18 or above, okay, that's one way to make sure we absolutely positively cut out the young ones, except for if they didn't have those settings on their computer. If they are looking in their parents' YouTube account or whatever like that, they can see whatever their parents can see. So there's no way we're going to stop that. There's no way we're going to foolproof prevent that, right? Other than shutting us down or whatever. So that's kind of ridiculous. So that's kind of above and beyond the Call of Duty. But the 18 years old and above thing, people with music channels will do that. People with artistic channels will do that because they realize that they have something that a young child might go see that would, they themselves have elected to, make either all of their videos or some of their videos age restricted. So that's the age restriction thing. And I don't think that's really required because for a lot of the videos, for a lot of the music videos and stuff, I don't really see anything in there that would be of interest to the FTC or YouTube, as in restricting speech, okay? And the videos are being created, right? So the music videos, the artistic videos, and things like that. I'm not seeing things in all the things that I'm looking at. I'm not seeing things that children would necessarily need to be restricted from, you know, but they might be age restricted anyway. You know, that's the creator trying to protect themselves from any possible, partial running afoul of anything. They just want to overly, above and beyond, protect themselves from kids having their information gleaned from marketers, which is, I guess, what the COPPA thing's all about. But the other problem is or another issue is the COPPA thing. You know, you say if you're not making children's videos, you can say you're an adult channel. That's what I say. I say I'm an adult channel. I don't make these videos for kids, and I set it for the channel as a whole, so I never have to go sit there and answer that question every single time. On the cell phone, it looks like if I set it up for a live broadcast, I don't have to do that. And if I have something on this, if I ever get the laptop working on a live stream, that'd be great, because then I can share my screen and stuff and do things like that too, which I like to do. I do that in the when I use OBS recording software. I use my desktop. That's the way I do it. But I would like to be able to do that, to do a live stream this way. But for some reason, I'm not getting it to work. It's not connecting. But the cell phone, again, connected instantly. So that was nice. All right, so let me see if there's any other comments in there I need to address here. And let me see here. Here we go. Thank you, Jennifer. It actually held it held your comment. Can you believe that? Anyway, so interesting. But let me see what else we have here. So that was the other part of the experiment. I'm going to make a note. I'm going to kind of wrap this one up. You know, if anybody comes in after the fact, that's perfectly fine, because I didn't make an announcement that I'm going to do this live stream. I just wanted to do this test for Stephanie Opal was one of them. I wanted to do this for, because she uses a mobile device to do a lot of her videos. She does a lot of live stream kind of videos, and she uploads videos from her cell phone, makes them on her cell phone, uploads them from the cell phone. And she made a comment that she had an issue with the COPPA thing and monetization or whatever, and this and that and the other thing. So that was kind of an issue for her. And so I'll make a note for her. I'll actually send her a note as well on the on her channel. I'll go check out her channel and watch a couple of videos and make some comments to her about that as well. And if anybody ever has any comments, you can make a comment under any of my videos. If you're on Twitter, you can contact me on Twitter. I want to make another thing. I was trying to say it, I forgot. If you missed a live stream, don't worry about it, because I didn't make any announcement that I was going to do this video. I just kind of did it. I had the opportunity. I had a break in my study. I wanted to jump on here and get this test done to see how all this stuff worked. And somebody made a comment. I'm looking at it in the background behind the camera there, that they're rather upset about the whole COPPA thing and everything else, and it's a pain, right? And it is. It really is. But the simplistic part of the COPPA thing, give it a bottom line, and then we'll go ahead and wrap this one up, is for COPPA, we know, as creators, we know our channels, all right? If the intent of our channel is to be based at adults over the age of 13, that's perfectly fine. Say you're me as a creator, that's what I do, and I say my whole channel's an adult channel. If I knew I was making an individual video strictly aimed at children, on that individual video, I would change the option that this video is for children. It's a kid's video, right? I would do that for that individual video. But for the rest of my channel, as an adult's channel, I say the entire channel is for adults. But if I have a child's video, I would individually change the option on that individual video so that it would meet the COPPA requirements. There's something else I wanted to say is on top of my head, and it just kind of slipped. The other thing about, or another thing that just comes into my head, I see this little thing hanging out the side of my laptop. The cell phone does a pretty good job. I'm looking at the video on my computer screen here. I get the delay that you guys have, but on this particular video, it looks pretty good on my screen. And when I use because I think it's a higher quality camera on my cell phone than it is on my laptop. But on the laptop, if I was going to, and this here is on Wi-Fi. The cell phone's on Wi-Fi, not hard connected to my computer. Merry Christmas to you. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. Now on the laptop, if I was going to live stream, I connect it directly to the computer, the internet. It's like I don't do Wi-Fi on the computers. When I'm doing something, if I want to connect live, I would prefer to connect live through the computer cord here. All right, so if you do, when I use the YardStream software, it works. It just works. I mean, when you're doing something, you really just want the software to just work, really. When it comes down to it, you just want it to work. And for the laptop, using the YouTube website and trying to go live from this, it's just simply is not working. I can look at the live stream on the computer, on the laptop, but I can't do the live stream from the laptop. And so that's something else for me to work out and see what's going on with that. Let me see. If anybody else has any other questions that come up, by all means, drop me a note below, drop me a comment below. I will answer every question I possibly can. And thus far, I have not yet had any problems answering anybody's questions when they've asked me a question. I find them in the comments and I answer them. And I want to wrap this up because I want to start talking about some other stuff, and I'll actually make another video at some other point on that. But I want to thank everybody for stopping by. If you stopped by live, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you, Farm Wall Fanatic, for the donation to the tip jar. Greatly appreciate that. Check him out, Farm Wall Fanatic. Great YouTuber. I've been with him for a while. Connected up with Farm Wall Fanatic, for a while there, because of the 4K, 1K kind of thing, and networking, finding channels. And I've learned a lot because we live on a 20-acre former horse ranch here, and he's a farmer. He does farming. And other maintenance things with tractors and stuff like that, and insights that I would not have otherwise than Farm Wall Fanatic and other channels with people who own this equipment that we ended up having to acquire. So Farm Wall Fanatics is just a great YouTuber. He's been just a fantastic person for me educationally with the equipment that we use around here as well. So I greatly appreciate that. And thanks for the tip in the tip jar. I greatly appreciate that as well. So let's wrap this one up for now. Again, if anybody's had any comments, drop me a note below, a comment below. Let me know you came by to say hi. And make sure you hit that thumbs up button if you get the chance. And until I catch you in the next video, take care and be well. And with that, let's go ahead and wrap this up. It's going to take me a second to shut this off because I don't do live streams very often. And especially from the cell phone, so I'm kind of ignorant on how to shut these things down. So you might see me babbling for a few seconds. But thanks everybody for stopping by. I greatly appreciate it. And again, until I catch you in the next video, take care and be well.